So we set up our course and we set up our class. We've email notified our students. The next thing we do is we'd actually send the students out for this class, or we train the class ourselves. Then we need to record training done. The easiest way to do that is simply to do this. Double click on the class in the tree. The class form will open. Go to the enrollment tab, and you can type right into the fields here if you want to for mark. I can put 99% in here for this student. Click on passed and click on complete, and you can do that for each student. However, most companies we find don't do it this way. If you've attended the course, you're marked off as complete and passed. So there's a quick button at the bottom left of this form to complete student records. If you click on this button, what it's going to do is going to mark all of these attendees as passed and complete, and it's going to give them a passing mark for the course, whatever you set the passing mark for the course to be. Now it's quite possible and even probable that some of these people didn't show up for the course. They were sick that day. So let's say that Joe Frankie here didn't show up. So I just click on the unenroll button and he disappears from our list. Now he's still due for this training course because he hasn't had it. So next time we generate a training due list, he's still going to show up. So to save some time and quickly mark all of these people as passed and complete in this course, I just click on this button at the lower left, complete student records. Student records change equals 8. I acknowledge that. Do you want to delete this class? Yes, you should delete the class. If you don't, it's just going to hang around and clutter up your tree. It's really no use any longer. Next time you train this course, you're going to need to set up another class. So I'm going to say yes, let's delete this class. Now when we go back to our tree, we can see that TIG welding no longer has a plus button beside it. It no longer has any classes. Our only class has been deleted. I'm going to roll my mouse to the lower right and go to the Training Done module. In the Training Done module, which is organized chronologically, the last record is located at the top of the screen. So we can see our TIG welding courses here. Now if I wanted to filter down on just that TIG welding course, I would pick the filter and pick the course name, TIG welding, click on OK, and we just have the records for our TIG welding class. If I wanted to print certificates for students, I would pick from the drop down at the top of the screen, certificate, and that will batch print certificates. I just use the arrow at the bottom left corner of the screen. I can go through each of the certificates. To remove this filter from the screen, I click on the blue button in the upper left with the red X on it to remove filters, and we're again looking at all of our training records. So I've just returned to the training module for Johnny Marr, student who that we had enrolled in the TIG welding class, and opened up his training tab, and as we can see, his TIG welding record is back in his training module. If we open that up, we can get details on that. If we have a certificate to attach, we can click on the document attached on this form and attach a paper-based certificate there. Now, we showed you the method of you setting up a course and then setting up a class and recording your training scores through that method. You don't necessarily have to use classes. You can just literally go to Training Done and add, by clicking on the Add button at the bottom right of the screen, add a training record for a student. Let's have a closer look at this form. This form allows you to add many training courses completions for one student. That's sort of the opposite of classes, where you can add many students to one course. This is useful if you're doing something like new employee orientations and the student has completed perhaps many courses in a day or in a week. So we just go through the fields on the left of the screen, picking the region, site, company, and the student, the training date, the training details, the instructor. These things are not all mandatory. OJT stands for on-the-job training. If there's on-the-job training, put the number of hours in there, number of classroom hours. There's a checkbox at the lower left of this form. Assign student to selected course for retraining. This checkbox is simply a convenience for assigning individual people to courses. By clicking on the Check Assignment button, you can quickly see whether or not this person is assigned to any particular course. We find that this particular person is not attached to the TIG welding course. If we wanted to assign them to the TIG welding course by virtue of being an individual, we could check this checkbox here. However, in the overall strategy of things for your company, it's probably better that you not assign individuals, but assign people to training by virtue of their job title, their people type, or the site that they're located at. To show this record is complete and passed, check these two checkboxes. To carry this same data forward to the next record and then select another employee, click on this checkbox called Carry Data Forward to the Next New Record. Save the record to save this training record to the Training Done module and also to the person's individual training history tab. So quickly again, just to review, in the Training Done module, the Add button allows you to quickly add multiple training courses for one person, either one training course or multiple training courses for one person. If you need to add multiple people records for one particular course, the easiest and fastest way to do that is just to set up a class and use the Complete Student Records button in the class form.